Good evening, everyone. So, this is going to be a recap class because everybody was asking about the class. Everybody was asking about the recording of first part of subjective verb agreement. So, this is going to be a recap part of the first part of subjective verb agreement. And at the end, we will continue with today's session. Okay? So, let's just wait for a few minutes and then we will begin the session as usual. Give me just 2 more minutes and then we'll begin the session. So, are you guys ready? Let's shall we begin now? If you already know somebody who missed the class and isn't here in the class, you can call them up as well. If you have any of your friends who missed the class and is not there in this class, you can call them up. Sure, let's get started. So today will be the recap class of what we missed in the first session of subjective verb agreement because all of you were saying that you missed the class and the class recording was not getting played or something was happening. So we'll start with that. So today's topic is subject and verb agreement. We'll start with the very basics. Now, basically, I will teach you what exactly are subjects, then I will teach you what exactly are verbs, and then I will teach you how they agree with each other. Now, please tell me how many of you were there who missed the class in the first place. How many of you are having the recap class? Vibha, okay. That's all. Okay. All right, let's continue with that then. So, the first thing that you need to understand is the fact that what are subjects? Now, basically, how do you identify subjects? I will tell you in a while. ठीक है? सबसे पहले सब्जेक्ट जो होते हैं फर्स्ट पर्सन होता है, सेकंड पर्सन होता है और थर्ड पर्सन होता है. Which class was not available? First, tell me that because I know that the Saturday class was not available. Last class was available. After Rule 5, the class was available. Vibha, you can watch that session. The first class is not available. Good evening, Zaidi. Yes, I guess the first class is not available. Rest of the classes are available. The last class and because 5 के बाद तो मैंने last class में ही पढ़ा है. Last class is available. All right. So first person is I and we. How do you identify first person? When you are speaking with somebody and for example, you're having a conversation. While you're having a conversation, when you're speaking with somebody, right? When you're speaking with somebody, the one who speaks is the first person. The one who speaks is the first person. After that, the one who's listening is the second person. And the one about whom we are talking is the third person. जो सुन रहा है, जो बोल रहा है वो फर्स्ट पर्सन है, जो सुन रहा है वो सेकंड पर्सन है और जिसके बारे में बात हो रही है वो थर्ड पर्सन होता है. ठीक है? Is it clear till here? ओके. देन अब मान लो मैं कॉन्वर्सेशन कर रही हूँ आपके साथ, मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, तो अगर मैं बोल रही हूँ तो मैं कौन सी हो गई? मैं फर्स्ट पर्सन हो गई. सामने जो है वो सुन रहा है वो सेकंड पर्सन हो गया और जिसके बारे में बात हो रही है वो थर्ड पर्सन हो गया. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? मैं अपने लिए क्या यूज करूंगी? मैं अपने लिए यूज करूंगी आई एन वी. ठीक है? मैं अपने लिए यूज करूंगी आई एन वी. सामने वाले के लिए मैं यूज करूंगी यू और जिसके बारे में बात हो रही है उसके लिए यूज किया जाएगा ही शी इट एंड कोई भी नेम. क्लियर? उसके बाद बात करते हैं सिंगुलर और प्लूरल की. इनमें से भी सिंगुलर कुछ होते हैं और प्लूरल कुछ होते हैं. जैसे सिंगुलर सिंगुलर कौन से होंगे? सिंगुलर वो जिनसे वन किसी भी ये पता चलता हो कि सिर्फ एक की बात हो रही है. प्लूरल वो जिससे ये पता चलता हो कि एक से ज्यादा की बात हो रही है. जैसे अगर मैं कहूँ आई, ठीक है, तो आई में पता चल रहा है, बताओ आई में कितने लोगों की बात हो रही है? I may say one, right? You're talking about only one, so it is a singular subject. Similarly, if I say they, how many people are you talking about in they? One or more than one? More than one, of course. तो इसमें क्या हो जाएगा? They is plural subject. That's all. That is the difference between singular and plural subject. तो ये होते हैं फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड पर्सन एंड सिंगुलर एंड प्लूरल सब्जेक्ट. जिन्होंने नहीं लिखा है वो लिख लीजिए प्लीज. मैं आपको 1 मिनट का टाइम देती हूँ. प्लीज राइट दिस फर्स्ट and then we'll move ahead. When we start star class, that is our class content course. Um I actually asked Nupur ma'am to inform you guys that this will be a recap class because everybody was asking about one class only. So this will be a recap class that I have already informed in the group. Yes, this class is being repeated because people did not see the class and they wanted recording. So this class is being repeated. At the end, for some time, I will ask you to do the practice session. If the time permits, we'll have the practice session. Till then, the class will be repeated. तो अगर आपने देख रखा है तो आप चले जाइए. Done? Oh, that course. That actually that was a tentative thing. Rahul, that was a tentative syllabus. For example, we will talk about weather or something. I may change the subjects because when I saw that you have to start from the basics, so instead of talking about the weather, it's better to talk about yourself, right? So those are the start. Whenever we have face-to-face conversation, that is the start class. The topic might change. Okay, Rahul, is this clear? For example, this Saturday we are going to have the face-to-face conversation again. So I will start. If in the first class I start with talk about weather, you will not be able to speak anything, right? So I have to start from the very basics. So that was a tentative thing. Now the next question is, how will you identify a subject? This is something I forgot to tell you in the last class. When the last class I taught, I forgot to tell you this. So how will you identify a subject? Tell me. Tell me, how will you identify a subject? जिन्होंने पढ़ लिया है पहले उनको तो पता होगा. First letter of sentence. No. First letter of sentence is not a subject all the time. Any other guesses? No, no, no. I'm not talking about that. How will you identify the subject in a sentence? Okay, let's see. Now, there are two ways to identify a subject in a sentence. First one, whenever an action is being done, so somebody who is doing the action is is the subject. Yes, very good. The answer to the question who is the subject actually, but that happens only in the case when you have an action word. For example, let's look at these two sentences. Okay, these are two sentences that you have, and let's see one more sentence. These are the sentences. The first is he's playing. What will be the subject in he's playing? Of course, he is the subject and he is playing. Why? Because there is an action thing is going on, an action word is there, and you simply have to ask yourself question who is doing that. For example, playing hai, so you will ask yourself a question who's playing, and you'll get the answer. Whatever answer you get is the subject. But in the second sentence, here are the books. How will you identify subjects? Now, in the second sentence, nobody is doing any work. So, how will you identify? Simply ask yourself a question: what is being talked about? किसकी बात चल रही है? So here we are talking about the books. Therefore, the books are the subject, and not here is the subject. Normally, people think that the first word is a subject. Uh, for example, here, but here that first word is not the subject. The subject is the books, because we are talking about the books. We are not talking about here. We are talking about the books. What are here? Books are here. Clear? So these are two simple things. First, ask yourself a question who is doing some work, and second thing, if it is not there, if the action word is not there, then ask yourself what is being talked about. What are you talking about? And the answer that you get will be the subject. For example, the book that I like is here. Now, what do you think is the subject in this sentence? Yes, the book is the subject in the sentence. Again, you will ask yourself a question: what are you talking about? You're talking about the book that you like, right? So the book that you like is the subject here. Therefore, the book will be the subject. Now, please write these examples and explanation in your own words. Done? Okay. Now the next thing is about verb. This is something that I've already told you earlier as well. In verbs case, you have to remember whenever you add s or es to a verb, or whenever a verb has s or es at the end. The book that I like is here. The book which I like is here. Zaidi, that I have already explained uh, in the case of pronouns, I guess, and both are correct here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right, right. Both are correct here. Okay, next is the verbs that have s or es at the end are singular verbs, and other verbs are plural verbs. Clear? Now, for example, is. Is has s at the end, so it is a singular verb. Similarly, plays. Plays has s at the end, so it is a singular verb. So you have to remember whenever a verb has s at the end, that is a singular verb, and whenever in the normal cases it is a plural verb. Please write that as well. Done. It is a simple line. The verbs which have s at the end are singular verbs. That's all you have to write. Okay, next question. Now you have to find out the subjects and the verb related to that in these sentences. Please write these sentences in your notebook first, then I will ask you. Now the first question. He play or plays piano. What should be the answer? Very good. It has to be place because the subject is he here. And if the subject is he, then obviously with he, I will use singular subject only because he is third person singular subject. Now, one thing I forgot to tell you, with every third person singular subject, for example, he, she, it, with he, she, it, and one name, you will always use singular verbs only. Yes, he, she, it, and any name. You will use singular verbs only. So with he, I will use plays. With they, what will I use? They go to market, of course. Now they is plural, so I will use the other one, not the singular one. Okay, last example. What will be the answer? Is or are? Are. Okay. What is the subject in this sentence? Yes, very good. The subject in the sentence is cost. How will you identify? You simply have to ask what is being talked about. For example, the last point is very high or are very high. So something is very high. Now, what is very high? Cost is very high. Raw materials, products, these companies. What exactly are you talking about? Is very high. You're talking about the cost. The cost is very high. Therefore, the cost is the subject here. And according to cost, the answer should be is. Is it clear now? Okay. Let's talk about the next slide. Now you have to write these questions in a notebook and we will try to solve them one by one. I'll give you some time to solve them and then I will try to solve them one by one. Done? Okay, please try to solve them first. Let's look at the first question. The introduction of tea, coffee, and such other beverages have not been without some effects. What will be the answer? Very good. Has not been. Why? What is the subject here? Very good. Introduction is the subject here. So the correct answer would be has been, has not been. Next question. Tea and coffee will be what? Tea and coffee will be other parts of speech. The entire, actually, the subject is introduction. That's it. And tea and coffee are other parts of subject. That is the entire phrase. Yes. The next one. Some effects in the first sentence. Some effects. These are object. Without some effect would be object. That is the part. And the next one, washes. Yes, washes will be the correct answer because here the subject is newer type. Type is the subject here. If type is the subject, then obviously I will use singular verb and the singular verb will be one with s. तो वॉश में es लगाओगे आप तो washes हो जाएगा. Next. Very good. The correct answer would be is required. Why is required? Because here the subject is knowledge. Next question. Yes, very good. The next one would be is the reason. Why is the reason? Because here the subject is romanticism. Is the reason is correct because here the subject is romanticism. Next one. Romanticism is singular. Very good. Now, here the subject is Himalayas. What are you talking about in the sentence? Along the northern frontier. Are you talking about northern frontier? Because here they are saying along the northern frontier is seen the beautiful and mighty Himalayas. So they are talking about something that is seen. So what is seen here? Himalayas. So Himalayas is the subject. Now since Himalayas is the subject, the correct answer would be are seen. ठीक है तो it would be are ना कि is. Is this clear to everyone? Do you have any doubt in this? Okay, let's move on to the next question then. Next is a very simple rule. Here there are four conjunctions either or, neither nor, not only but also, or. Now here you have to understand two steps. Step number one, find out the helping verb. Step number one, find out the helping verb. Step number two, find out the subject near to the helping verb. That subject is the main subject. मैंने क्या क्या बताया आपको? पहला स्टेप हेल्पिंग वर्ब ढूंढो, दूसरा स्टेप हेल्पिंग वर्ब के पास वाले सब्जेक्ट ढूंढो, वही मेन सब्जेक्ट है. Clear? Let's look at the first example. The first example is either he or his friends is or are telling lie. Either he or his friends is or are telling lie. In this case you can see what is the helping verb. What is the helping verb in this case? The helping verb is or are. What is the subject near to the helping verb? The subject near is friends because there are two main subjects here, and one is he, the other is his friends. But out of that, the one that will be looked for is his friends because that is near to the helping verb. Since that is near to the helping verb and friends is plural, so I will use the verb are. Is this clear to everyone? Next, neither the students nor the teacher has or have arrived. What will be the answer? Okay, I'm getting mixed answers. Has and have both. Okay, tell me what is the helping verb in this sentence? Has or have is the helping verb in this sentence. Which is the subject closer to the helping verb? Teacher or students? Teacher is closer to the helping verb. Therefore, teacher is the main subject here. And according to teacher, the correct answer should be has. Next question. Is or are he or his friends lying? Is. Very good. Yes, the correct answer would be here is. Why? Because is or are is the helping verb. The subject near to the helping verb is he. Now, according to he, the subject verb should be is. Therefore, is he or his friends lying is absolutely correct. What about the next sentence? Very good. Are. Because here the nearest subject is friends. Now, please write it down. Okay. Next, please write these questions. Try to solve them first and then we'll discuss them. Done? Are you guys done with this? Not just the first one, all of them. If you have solved all of them, then we'll start discussing. Chalo, let's discuss. First question. Either my colleagues or a peon are coming home with the material today. Peon is. Very good. Yes, the answer will be peon is coming home. Why? Because is the helping verb here. The subject near to the helping verb is peon. Now peon is singular, so the answer would be is coming home. Next. Whether she should get married or whether she should remain single are her personal problems. Is her personal problem. Very good. Yes, the answer would be is her personal problem, not are her personal problem. Yes. Okay, next question. Neither Nam nor his siblings has been able to come home. Very good. The answer would be have been. Why have been? Because the subject near to the helping verb here is siblings. Now, siblings is plural, so siblings is the main subject here. Due to siblings is the main subject, because of the fact that sibling is the main subject, the correct answer would be have, not has. Okay, next question. Has Ram or his friends gone to library to get required books? Have gone. Have gone. Are you sure? Where is the subject here? Which is the main subject here? Books is the main subject here. How is book the main subject? Okay, tell me one thing. Which is the helping verb here? Has is the helping verb here. Okay, now the subject near to the helping verb is Ram. Therefore, Ram should be the main subject, na? Books kaise hua? And one more thing I told you earlier, whenever you have an action word, whenever you have an action word, that means somebody is doing something in a sentence, then it's a very simple thing. You just have to ask yourself, who is doing that? For example, here, somebody has gone to library. So you have to ask yourself a question, who has gone to library? You'll get the answer, Ram has gone to library. Therefore, Ram is the main subject here. Is it clear to everyone? We are Rohit, I told you you have to ask yourself what are you talking about only when you don't have the action word. I told you the first step is find out the action word. If you have action word, then you don't have to do the second step. Second step is available only when you don't have the first step. If you don't have the action word, then you can go for the subject. What is being talked about? Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. Let's move on to the next question. Next rule. Next is very simple rule. Now, in the next rule, what you have to do is it's quite simple. Um, Whenever you find these conjunctions in a sentence, as well as with, along with, together with, in addition to, besides, accompanied by, but, except, rather, but, except, but and except are different, rather than, unlike, and not. Remember, this is and not simply and, this is and not. Okay, so whenever you have these conjunctions in a sentence, you just have to remember that the first subject is the main subject. First, in the sense, these conjunctions always join two subjects. Okay, the two subjects that it is joining, out of them, the first subject is the main subject. That's all. And it is done. For example, Ram as well as his parents is or are coming. In this case, tell me one thing. which is the first subject, as well as is joining Ram and his parents. So, between Ram and his parents, which is the first subject? Rohit, you should listen to it first. I said the first subject only. Ram and his parents. इन दोनों में पहला सब्जेक्ट कौन सा है? राम और पेरेंट्स में से पहला सब्जेक्ट कौन सा है? मैंने ये नहीं बोला उसके पास में जो है, मैंने बोला जो पहला सब्जेक्ट है. पहला सब्जेक्ट तो राम है ना, तो राम के हिसाब से इज आएगा, आ रहेगा. इज आना चाहिए. Exactly. Is it clear to you guys? According to Ram, the first subject, the verb that should be used is is. Next, the captain along with the sailor was or were drowned. What would be the answer? Was. Very good. Yes, was drowned is the correct answer. Now, please write this down. Yes, here we see only the first subject. First in the sense, not the first word. These words will be joining two subjects, out of them the first subject. Now you will understand why I'm saying this. Done, everyone? Okay. Next is the questions related to this. Please write these questions. Let me know when you're done. So have you solved them also? First one. The appeal of the victim rather than the request of the opponents has been accepted or have been accepted. Yes, it will be has been accepted. Very good. Next, the house along with its content was ruined. Is this correct? Yes, it is absolutely correct. Because the first subject here is house, therefore the word was here is absolutely correct. Okay, next. Patience as well as perseverance are necessary for success. Is necessary. Yes, very good. It would be is necessary, not are necessary. Why? Because of a very simple thing that the first subject here is patience, and patience is singular, therefore, the verb that should be used is singular as well. All right, yes, it would be is necessary. Next question. She immediately quit the job in which flattery and not skills was required. You have to tell me what is the subject in the sentence and whether the sentence is absolutely correct or not. Tell me, is the sentence correct? What will be the correct answer? Okay, if it is wrong, what will be the correct answer? Were required. How? What is the subject here? Flattery. Flattery and skills. How can this be the main subject? See, I told you what you have to remember is the two subjects that it is joining. And not is a conjunction here. And the two subjects that it is joining is flattery and skills. These are the two subjects that it is joining. Therefore, the first subject in these two is flattery. Therefore, the subject is flattery. The main subject is flattery, not she. And hence, the answer was is absolutely correct here. Do I need to repeat this? Okay. See, what did I tell you? I told you the first subject of the subjects that the word is joining. Here, and not is the conjunction. Now, and not is joining flattery and skills. It's quite simple. Always remember wherever is the conjunction, before that and after that are the subjects, first and second subjects. Only before that and after that are the first and second subjects. Okay? Therefore, the first subject is the one before that. Let's see one more example. Here, along with is the conjunction. Before that and after that are the first and second subjects. Always before that and after that are the first and second subjects. You don't have to care about what is given in the entire sentence. I don't have to care about what is given till here. The simple thing is, and not se pehle wala is the first subject. Flattery is the first subject. Is it clear now? Next. Next is unit of measurement. Whenever unit of measurement point towards money, time, weight, it is singular. What does that mean? That means that unit of measurement is singular. 50 kilometers is a unit of measurement, it will be singular. Unless you're talking about spending them. Unless you're talking about giving away or spending, it is always singular. Unless you're talking about distributing, it is always singular. Is it clear? Please write it here. Add one sentence here. Unless you're talking about distributing, they are always singular. Just write this much. Yes. Then it will become plural. I will show you an example also, don't worry. Just let me know when you're done writing this. Please write these sentences in a notebook. Then we'll discuss them. Okay. First one is $10 are an average daily wage for many people in developing world. What will be the answer? Is an average. Very good. Yes, $10 is an average. $10 is an average. Next, 5 miles are a great distance to walk for a man like him. Very good. Yes, 5 miles is a great distance to walk for a man like him. Next, 5,000 rupees is a handsome amount. इस तो लिखा ही हुआ है फिर क्यों इस बोल रहे हो? Yeah, is a great distance is absolutely correct. What about the next sentence? 5,000 rupees is a handsome amount. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Next one, 5,000 rupees has been spent on different items. Yes, because they are talking about spending, so it will be have been spent, Naki has been spent. Is this clear to all of you? The first one will be $10 is an average. The first three will be is, and the last one will be have. Is it clear to all of you? Okay, next one. Next one will be the last one, I guess. Yes, this one. Tell me, is this already been discussed in the next class? Is this discussed in the next class? Could you see this rule or should I explain this? I guess it was in the next class, so it was already clear. It was given in the recordings as well. Please let me know, otherwise I'll explain this rule. Okay, I'll explain. See, there are four things. Numeral fraction, that means number. Numeral percentage, that means 10%, 20%, etc. Not the word percentage. सिर्फ एक जो word percentage होता है वो नहीं. 10%, 20%, कुछ number हो उसके आगे. Indefinite quantity, indefinite means which is not clear. There's only a part, but you are not clear about how much it is. For example, some, many, much, a little, few, etc. Right? And the last one is unit of measurement. All these things, whenever these things have of after them, the noun that comes after them is the main subject. Just remember these four things: fraction, percentage, indefinite quantity, unit of measurement. When after them of is given, after that whatever noun is given is the main subject. For example, 12% of the population has voted this time. In this case, you can see 12% is numeral percentage. And after that of is written. After that population is given, this word population becomes the main subject. Now since this is the main subject and since this is singular, I will use has here. Now tell me, is this clear? Then I will tell you one more point. Okay, the second point is fraction. How do you write fraction? How do you write 3/4? Tell me, is this correct? Have I written this correctly? Please wait. Is this correct? 3/4? No, this is not correct. The correct answer would be 3/4. Always remember in fraction, whenever the first part, this is the first part, this is the first part, whenever the first part is more than 1, In the next part, you have to add s. Whenever the first part is more than 1, in the next part, you have to add s. So it's always 2/3, 3/4 in English. Is it clear now? Please write this quickly. Okay, first tell me this sentence. Is this sentence correct? Some of his classmates have escaped. Is this sentence correct? Yes, this sentence is absolutely correct. Why? Because your main subject is one that comes after of. This part sum is indefinite quantity. After that, of is written. After that, whatever is given. For example, the classmates word is given here. So classmates is the main subject here. And according to classmates, you have to use have. Right? Please write this. Done? Okay, that's it. This was the missed class that I taught on that day. So now you'll get the recording of this also. You can watch it again if you want, but I don't think you'll want to watch it again because एक बार में समझ में आ गया होगा सब कुछ आराम से. फिर भी keep revising it. Keep revising your notes. That's why I'm giving you notes. ठीक है? Keep revising your notes so that you can remember the rules. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a great night.